Well, good morning and welcome to episode 9. I've started the day off with having a good tidy up today. My tools seem to have migrated to every corner of the workshop and the truck. So I've got all my tools together today and it seems to be a good start. Right, before we take a look at the habitation box, now it's on and complete, I've got one last job to do in the workshop, which is cut and form a liner for the sump pump. So we're going to do that first. That's the sump pump box, what I formed. Yeah. We'll see whether that fits or not. Right, okay, let me just explain what this is. So this is actually an hole in the floor. Because we're winterizing this vehicle, all the waterworks has got to be on the inside. No pipes running on the exterior, not that there should be anyway. So yeah, everything from the showers, the wash basin, and the washing machine and the sink will run into a sump pump, which I've got here. This is a sunny floor shower, so as you can see, that's a nice tight fit. So yeah, everything should flow into the sunny floor, and then from the sunny floor it gets pumped into the grey tank. The grey tank is internal. So when we want to empty the grey tank, we're going to have a lever probably on the inside and just a pipe outside. So that is a 95 litre grey tank. Over at the back here, we've got a 450 litre fresh water tank. Now, some of you will be thinking straight away it's the wrong colour. It should be black or something like that. I've gone for the clear one. That one doesn't make any difference anyway what colour that is, but yes, water tanks should be normally a black colour to stop bacteria forming. However, this is going to be insulated with a 30mm Kingspan, and the reason why we do this is because obviously in here it's warm and you're going to be pumping cool water on the inside. So what you tend to do is the tank will tend to condensate. So you'll get water running off the tank if you don't insulate it. So I've got a couple of sheets of this and I'm going to insulate around this tank here, and yeah, that should stop any condensation or reduce the condensation forming around the tank, and also then that will cut out any daylight actually getting to the tank and causing bacteria to form. You'll also notice with the fresh water tank, this has been clamped down. It's also on 2 anti-slip mats. Okay, so the mats are placed at either side, basically to stop or to reduce the slippage of the tank. The tank is on threaded bars which are being protected with plastic sheathing, and these go actually through the floor to the sub chassis. So this is actually bolted down. So if we were, shall we say, in an accident, I don't want this breaking free and smashing through to the front of the cab. Like I said, there's about half a ton of weight here, or just shy of half a ton of weight. So water tanks must be bolted down to the sub chassis, which is another mistake I see being made. So yeah, bolt them down, bolt them down. I'm not going to bother so much with the grey tank, bolting that down. That will be penned in, but that's going to be very rarely completely full. So yeah, I mean, once that fills up, well, when it fills up, we're going to be parked up having a shower and doing the washing and things like that. And then before we set off, we normally empty it anyway. So that's not too much of a concern. But the 450 litres at the back there is going to be, you know, that needs to be bolted down. Right, to this week's sponsor is Werrell Richards. Werrell Richards do lockers for HGVs. They are security lockers, so they're very well made, very strong and very secure. I've got two of these going on the Fox, both lockable, and they have the turning handle, and you can get different configurations, different sizes. In fact, lots of different sizes. You can get them with shelves on the top or walking platforms. A lot of configurations. They do come with shelves in them if you want them. I've got these without a shelf because I don't know what I'm putting in there yet. But nevertheless, you can see nice strong hinges. You've got the water seal around the edge. Really good strong lock. You can get aluminium, stainless or powder coated like I've gone for. But yeah, these look very nice, very secure. Obviously you can have these going the other way or even upside down so the door drops down. But yeah, check out their website if you're wanting some lockers for your Overland truck. The box is now all complete. I've sealed around all the edges. Now a couple of places where I could do with just sealing again. It's very dark down this bottom end, isn't it? But yeah, even around the bottoms as well, I've sealed. But this is where a few mistakes I've seen being made by companies and individuals. So I'm going to give you a couple of tips. Right, okay. Sealing around the floor, make it all watertight. You know, that's going without, you know, without saying. What we need to do is in each corner is to form an hole to the outside. And in that hole, we put a little bit of tube with a little bit of sponge in. So that if you ever do get a water leak, thinking you've got 500 litres or 450 in my case of water in this watertight box. Now if that ever does leak, if a pipe ever blows off or whatever, the pump will disperse that into this area. So you've got to provide an area or an escape route for the water. So I'm using 15mm plastic pipe in each corner, just like in the sump pump down here. This will also have an hole in there, so that if this fails or blocks up and it overflows, say for instance, water can and will escape through an escape hole. And the sponge, the sponge in the bottom of the pipe there is basically just to stop any creepy crawlies getting up there. And if you do have a leak, you just pull the sponge out, and this will allow the water to flow out much easier. Right, while we're talking about this, a lot of people, same again, some companies have put floors directly down onto the subfloor now. Now the problem is with that, if you do get a leak, it's going to destroy anything on this floor. So if you put a nice hardwood floor down here and you get a leak, it's destroyed. So you shouldn't and mustn't really put a subfloor or the finished floor onto this. So what you need to do is put a subfloor down there. So my subfloor, as you can see now, we've got a slight gap underneath this box here, which will, if I come over here and get the I keep calling this king span. I think it's more like Celotex or something like that. But so the kitchen floor, even though the subfloor is 55mm thick, this will end up being about 120mm thick when it's done. So it's going to be very well insulated. So on this floor now, I am going to put Celotex, and that goes under there like so. And then on top of that, we're going to have an 18mm trailer board, which is this stuff just here. And then that will form the, I'm going to say the finished floor, but there won't. There'll be either carpet or vinyl or even even a laminate floor on top of that. So that's just in the kitchen area. So we've got about another, let me see, 30, 50, yeah, we've got about another 50mm to go on top of this floor here. And just putting the king span down, and all I'm going to do is silicone that down, and this will and does allow the water to go underneath the floor, right? And then it will then eventually find its way out, and you know the water will escape out without damaging the finished floor, the expensive floor. Right, at the back area you can see we've got floor joists, or what appear to be floor joists. These are now 250mm off the subfloor. So taking away about the 125, it's going to leave probably about 150mm step into the bedroom area. The reason why I'm putting these floor joists down is because firstly it creates storage, and secondly it allows me to run any heating pipes, plumbing pipes and electrical runs to the front of the vehicle. So nothing is going outside, nothing's penetrating the frame to run from left to right or front to back or anything like that. On top of this is going to be the 18mm trailer board, and then on top of that will be the finished floor. So what I've got in height, so in total then, on top of the subfloor to the ceiling, we've got 2245, so 2 meters 245. When the kitchen floor goes down in this area here, I will have 2 meters 120, and in the bedroom area and toilet and the toilet and the passageway is going to be 1 meter 965. So that's going to be about the finish. So just shy of 2 meters. This will allow for the shower, the doors, and yeah, it's perfect. Now you may be thinking, well, that's a waste of space. Well, like I said, it's already catered for with storage and also running the heating pipes and the plumbing as well. In this corridor just here, this is going to be the corridor into the bedroom. Such as here, this is going to have a lift up panel in the centre here, and that's going to be all storage. As opposed to if you look at the ceiling directly above that, I can't have storage there. So yeah, having storage down below, and also it keeps the weight low down, don't forget. A lot of people put nice big cupboards up there, taking the weight and the centre of gravity high. It's an off-roader, we want to be keeping the centre of gravity low. So having storage like this underneath the floor, or low down, keeps the weight low down and the centre of gravity low down. Where the tank is now is this is going to be the foot of the bed. Now the bed is going to be a little bit higher than this, and we're going to have a couple of drawers here above the tank, so we can pull the drawers out again, storage again, keeping it nice and low. Yeah, so this is where the bed is, and behind the tank there's going to be a wall there and a roof or a ceiling if you like, and that's going to form, this back area is going to be the garage area. So we've got the garage, we've got wardrobes in each corner with cupboards across the top. There's going to be no cupboards down this side because we need to walk down the side of the bed. There will be two windows here, one here and one over the other side. We've got a wall just here, and this is where the showers are going to be. So we've got probably about a 600mm gap in between the door. That's where the log burner is going to go. As you come in here, this is where the log burner is going to be. We've got a wall here, and then we've got the shower. Passageway into the bedroom. And then at this side we've got a little L-shaped wall, which is where the toilet's going to sit behind. So we've got the toilet here, we've got a wash basin here, and all that plumbing then is going to run underneath the floor to the sump pump, and then from the sump pump back into the grey tank. There will be a little bit of a 45-degree step here with the door on that. Now this is going to be like our door in eBay, where the door is always closed. So it's going to close off the bedroom from the kitchen area to keep the smells out, but when you open the door it will then close off the toilet. So for instance, if you want to go to the toilet, obviously you're closing the toilet door. If you want to keep the smells out, when you're cooking, you open the toilet door and it closes. Yeah, it's a two-in-one door basically. It's very similar to what we've got in eBay, and that works really well. Yes, so wash basin, we've got a wall just here. Then we've got the seating area, so the grey tank is going to form sort of like the back area of the banquet seating. So that's going to come around. The table is going to be here. A dwarf wall just at the end here, and then we've got a 370mm drawn cupboard with a little bit of worktop on top, and then we've got the fridge freezer. The fridge freezer will have a drawer underneath it, cupboard above. There'll be also a cupboard above the worktop here, and then we'll have cupboards going across the top. We'll have a window for the dining area and a window for the toilet. At this side then we've got the walk-through, the crawl-through, and then we've got the washing machine. This is going to be the kitchen area with the worktop on there, and this is going to have the washing machine underneath, the oven, window just about here, and then wall units above. And this area is going to be, like I said, slightly lower, whereas once you go through the door into the bathroom, shower and bedroom area, we actually got a slight step there. And we've got a small skylight towards the front of the vehicle, in fact probably just about where the doorway is here, maybe a fraction further forward. And then we've got a large opening skylight just at the foot of the bed, just here. Right, all the plumbing's here now. So we've got the overflow pipe, we've got the 50mm pipe and the waste pipe as well, 32mm waste pipe. So that's obviously going to be this job this next week. Okay, questions and answers as well from last week. I'll go through those now. If I'll just find my sheet and I'll get on to them. So questions and answers from last week, and Why have we done our box like we've built the box? There's much easier ways of doing it, and that is absolutely correct. At CPL Panels, Coldsaver Panels Limited, like I say, you can give them all your spec, everything what you want, windows, doors, you know, all the cutouts, and what they will do is actually rebate the panel like such. So you can get a panel like that and screw it onto the next panel. And all you have to do around this outside corner then is to glue a plastic capping on. And that is the easiest way to form a box. It's not the strongest, however it is the easiest. And the reason why we went for an exoskeleton is quite simply because the vehicle's just under 4 meters tall. We've got more chance of hitting branches, okay? And I want the strongest box possible. If you imagine if you've got this bit of foam and a little bit of plywood and you know, you're going down a lane or whatever and you hit a branch, the branch will actually go through into the box. So hopefully doing it like this is the safest way for us in sense of the strength. Right, next question. Somebody mentioned about seeing more action on, you know, in front of the camera rather than me talking. Well, please understand that I don't earn a lot of money from YouTube. I earn around about £25 a month if I'm lucky, and my time is more valuable to me working and doing this. Me being sat in front of the camera, editing, uploading, making sure, you know, all the descriptions right and things like that, it's nothing. I'd much rather be working. So I'm doing this, you know, please understand that I'm doing this YouTube, showing you how I'm doing this for your benefit. You know, it's not a money making thing for YouTube. So yeah, if I'm not in front of the camera and I'm busy working, then, you know, it's tough really. Yeah, doing the camper is more important than YouTube. Right, next question, the makeup of these frames. Right, the makeup of the frames, okay, I will show you a diagram of this, how I've set them out, but here we have the 50 by 50 angle, and then this will be the 20 by 20 angle, and that as the door seal on there, on the 20 by 20 angle. This is a 30 by 30. Now that's double jointed, so that goes around the outside. So I can show you that. You can see 130 and that joins onto the next 30. So that actually laps over the outside there. And then at this side we have another 30 wrapping over the 50 by 50 there. And then these two lips creates the edging for the concertina. So the concertina would basically clip on like so, like that, and stretch across to that side. Right, I think that just sums up everything this week. Obviously I'm going to be starting to do the plumbing and get some pipes in, and then from the plumbing we'll hopefully go on to the electrical side of things in a few weeks. But yeah, there's a lot happening here. One question I'm probably going to get is, why am I using steel box section to raise the floor? This is 30 by 30 mil box section, 3 mil thick, so it is quite heavy. And I've mentioned this about the panels, I mentioned about getting weight on the vehicle. This vehicle is 18 ton, it's on leaf springs, so I need weight back on the vehicle. I need to be around about 80% of the weight back on the vehicle when she's complete. So I'm looking at getting this vehicle 15, 16 ton, something like that. So no problems with the weight on this one. 18 mil trailer boards. So, you know, we're going to get the suspension working, we're going to get the brakes working at the back, because if there's no weight on the tyres at the back will just lock up when we brake. We don't want that happening. Yeah. Right, okay, that's it. I'm busy, I'm plumbing, and we'll catch you next time.